Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the Plaid Girls TV. I'm Siobhan Palmer. It is Wednesday, November 11th, and I'm broadcasting from the beautiful Fort Worth Botanic Garden Center. This stunningly beautiful lady to my right is Miss Kam Phillips. She is the CEO, and tell us your...
And Chief Executive Dreamer.
Chief Executive Dreamer of Dream Outside the Box, a nonprofit she started in 2009. This is a remarkable young woman, and it's a remarkable story. So Kam, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
All right. So behind this beautiful backdrop, we're going to have our girl talk. So I want to start with, always when I meet these women leaders, I love to know a little bit about your backstory. So where did you grow up?
So I grew up here in Fort Worth, and I grew up as a rodeo cowgirl. I went to Pascal High School. And then
rodeo cowgirl. Wait, how many women say I was a rodeo cowgirl? How did you get into rodeo?
My mom rode when she was pregnant with me, and my dad is a full-time horse trainer, and I just came out ready to ride. My dad would hold me when I was a baby, and he'd be riding, and so it was the most natural progression that you could possibly have. I was basically born and raised in the saddle and raised in a barn, and so it really was...
It was in your blood, in
yes,
your DNA.
It was in my blood, in my DNA, and really inevitable.
So what type of, let me move over a little bit so we got here. What type of events did you compete in?
So all of the speed events in rodeo, barrel racing, pole bending, goat tying, everything that you can imagine, and it was so much fun. So much fun.
That's fantastic. Okay, so then you went to Pascal High School, which is a fantastic high school here in Fort Worth, and then you got a Harry S. Truman Scholarship. Tell our audience what that is.
So the Harry S. Truman Scholarship is a scholarship focused on leadership and public service. College students around the country apply and are nominated by their university, and then each state can choose one student, or each state typically gets awarded one student to represent them. Texas and California, New York have more than one, two typically. And so the Truman Scholarship is a collection of about 60 students from all over the country who are focused on leadership, government, public service, and those kinds of things. And that allows them to go on to graduate school after their undergrad.
That's amazing. Okay, so tell me, from high school then, you decided to go to University of Missouri, and what did you study there?
I went to school to the University of Missouri for journalism, but I ended up, after starting Dream Outside the Box, I realized that I never wanted to go into a newsroom and report about these problems, but I really had to be in the classroom and really focused on making a change. And so I changed my major to social work with a minor in leadership and public service.
That's a big switch.
It was a really big switch, and I had to take out some of the fun classes that I was taking for journalism and swap in some that were a little heavier, but it was really a wonderful, wonderful way to get those skills that I needed to go on to try to make a difference.
But you married your journalism schools and your leadership capabilities, and then founded this beautiful nonprofit. Here, let's move over. I think I see us a little bit. There we go. Hi, everybody. Talk about the name Dream Outside the Box and about the concept, how you launched it, why you launched it.
I don't know where the name Dream Outside the Box came from. I think I had a eureka moment one day in my dorm room, and that's really what happened. But Dream Outside the Box was born from me going to volunteer at a local Boys and Girls Club. And I knew that I had experienced really incredible things like rodeo and fencing and skiing growing up. But what I didn't feel was particularly privileged, because I was the first person in my family to go to school. Even though I wasn't what I consider privilege, those experiences shaped my life. And so I asked the Boys and Girls Club director if it was okay for me to come in and show kids things that were like what I experienced. And
fantastic idea.
Yeah, I realized then he didn't think we were really going to do it, but I felt like it was unacceptable not to go in and give them an opportunity to see those kinds of things. So we decided to go in and expose children to engineering and mock trial and fencing and something different every week to put them on a pathway.
Beautiful. And make them realize they have so many options of life if they're given the opportunity, exposed to it.
Absolutely. Our motto is, you can only dream what you've seen. So if you've never seen engineering, you don't know that that's something that you may want to be, but it's really been wonderful to kind of see that light bulb go off and see the children in dream deserts all across the country experience that.
Now, you said the term dream desert. What does that mean?
So just like a food desert is a place where children don't have access to healthy and affordable fruits and vegetables, a dream desert is a place where children don't have access to educational and extracurricular opportunities. And we coined that term because we felt like it was the only term that really encompassed what we were doing and who we were working with. We don't believe in the term at risk. We believe that if given the right tools and encouragement, the only thing the kids are at risk of is changing the world.
Absolutely.
Or being extraordinary. And so with that in mind, we really felt like Dream Dozers was the best term.
Oh, I love that. So you launched this nonprofit in 2009, and tell us the exciting event. You were honored at the White House for being
a White House Campus Champion of Change. So I got a call. We were looking at having some there was a contest where you could get more exposure and national coverage, and so we got nominated. And out of the thousands of applications all over the country, thousands of applications all over the country, I get a call on my birthday, almost like maybe 2 days before my birthday or on my birthday, saying, "Hey, it's Ronnie from the White House. We just want you to know you're one of 10 that was selected."
Wow.
And so there were either 10 or 14 of us, and you got all of these. You had to get votes, and if you got the votes, then you would be all the top 5 would get to go to the White House. He said, we didn't know this. We didn't know it was going to turn into a contest. And he said, you have 1 week to get in the top 5. And I do think there are 15 of us.
Wow.
And so
you work well under pressure, obviously.
We put on a campaign. We put on a campaign for that week. And it turns out on day 5, we slipped to number 6. It was the first time all week that we were out of the top 5. And in those last few hours, we slipped to number 6. And so we were devastated. We thought we weren't going to get to go to the White House. And then I get a call saying, you were so close to being in the top 5 that number 7 was so far behind you, and we think that you should get to come. And,
wow.
And so all of the 15 got to end up getting to come, and they said, because you weren't in the top 5, you won't get to be on MTV. Well, we had been on MTV the year before that, and so we were fine with that. And they said, and you can only bring 1 person with you. And I thought about it, and I chose, instead of my mom or dad, to bring a little girl in our program. And so it was the coolest experience of my life to get to go and take an 8-year-old girl who had never been to Washington, D.C. before.
Wow. To the White House.
To the White House. And
did you meet the president?
I did. I did. And it was a surprise. So he hadn't come to any Champions of Change events before that, and he rarely ever does. And so it was and they told us, you're going to have this very fancy meeting, and we need to debrief before the event so that you understand the protocols to happen. But when we got to that meeting, they said, "Oh, just kidding. We are not having a fancy debrief meeting. You're about to meet the president." And it was in a very tiny conference room, and it was really wonderful.
Very intimate, one-on-one.
Very intimate. There were only 10 of us in the room or something like that.
Fantastic. And
then when he came in to do the speech, he stopped his speech, and before he even stopped it, he stopped to talk directly to the little girl that I took to the White House, and she, her whole life is forever changed now.
Absolutely.
She came to visit me a couple months ago, and I can still see that shift in her from then.
This is how impactful nonprofits like this can be. Kam, where do you see Dream Outside the Box going? You're currently in how many college campuses around the country?
We're in 6 right now.
Okay.
We'll be in 10 next semester, and then 12 the semester after that.
And just briefly for the audience, tell us the concept. So you enlist college students to help you as volunteers with these after-school activities.
Right.
Okay.
So college students all around the country charter chapters of Dream Outside the Box. They say that this is something that I want to be a part of my college experience. They charter chapters, then they go on and partner with an elementary school or an after-school program, and then every week they go on and do hands-on experiential learning in areas like engineering and mock trial and fencing. So if it's engineering, they might invite the Society of Women Engineers to come in to their program and do hands-on bridge building or whatever it may be. And so these students are dedicating an hour or 2 a week, and they don't get really anything in exchange, but that the joy of knowing that their dreams are being made possible, as are the kids. And so it's been just wonderful to see it grow. And all of our chapters start by word of mouth. So we don't go out and recruit students at all. Our TCU chapter told their best friends at OU, and OU chartered a chapter.
Yeah, it's that organic effect, which is so impactful.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Now, if people want to get more information about Dream Outside the Box, you are a 501c3,
yes.
So we'd love people to go to the website and consider donating to support this wonderful programming.
Absolutely.
Tell them how they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. DreamOutsideTheBox.org is our website, and you can get all kinds of information through there. See media clips. I think you can see pictures of the little girl at the White House there, and it's really really a great resource to get to see what we do. And then we also have an app, the Dream Outside the Box app. It's typically for our volunteers, but it's a great way to see what's going on.
Oh, so they just download it free. The Dream Outside the Box app.
Yes, on Apple and
Smarty
Android.
pants.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And just to close, Kam, you know, you're such an inspirational young woman and going to be doing amazing things. What women would you say have had the greatest impact on your life, either personally or professionally?
I've been surrounded by incredible mentors my whole college experience and career experience. So women that really took me, they didn't have to be the number one person at the firm or whatever it may be, but they were people who took time out and said, here's where you are and here's where I see that you can be, and I'm going to help you on that pathway, and encouraging me to not worry about going from point A to point B, but taking a winding path.
Absolutely.
And so those were professors at my university or administrators, or I remember my boss at the VA when I worked there right out of college was just instrumental in shaping that. And then personally, I have the most wonderful family, and not a day goes by where I don't either talk to my mom or have some kind of communication with them. And so, and my sister, I have a sister who's 13 years older than me, so it's like I have two moms, and it's really, I believe that mentorship can change the world. And so I always say that my mom and dad and my sister did everything they could, and then all my mentors came in and filled in the gaps to really help shape my journey in the most holistic and well-rounded way.
Beautiful. And just amazing young woman, when you agree. To round out this segment, do you have a favorite quote you could leave us with that has had a big impact on your life?
My dad always says, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
I love that. I love that. Kam Phillips, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Siobhan Palmer with the Plaid Girls TV, and beautiful interview with Ms. Kam Phillips, dreamoutsidethebox.org. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.